everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sally from Gillard Studios, and today I'm going to talk to you about monetizing social media for your small business. So if you're a service-based business or product-based business and you're looking at ways that you can make some extra money online for your business, then I'm going to talk you through that today, what that entails and how much you may potentially make from your social media monetization. So let's get into it. What is monetization when it comes to social media? So monetization from social media is essentially getting paid for your views, or there are a couple of other methods that you can get paid for as well, but I'm going to focus on monetization for views at the moment. There are a couple of platforms that you can do this on. At the moment, the main ones that you can do are TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. It's not available on Instagram anymore. I believe it was in the past, but that was taken away. So essentially, what is it? How does it work? So you do need to reach a certain amount of followers in order to reach the level of monetization required for each platform. And each platform has got its own set of requirements, if you will. So starting with TikTok, in order to get monetized, you need at least 10,000 followers. And you need 100,000 views within a 30-day period. So those are the two requirements for monetization on TikTok. Then we can look at Facebook. Facebook, similar again, 10,000 followers, and I believe it's 30,000 views or thereabouts. And I'm not sure if it's in 28 days or 90 days for that. I'd need to double check. But again, very similar to what the rules are for TikTok in terms of getting qualified to monetize your views. Then thirdly, you've got YouTube, which is where we are today. And YouTube, you need 1,000 followers, a minimum of 1,000 followers. But you also need to meet one of the next two categories for it to qualify. So you either need to reach 4,000 watch hours on your long form content or 10 million shorts views in a 90-day period. The 4,000 watch hours, you've got 12 months to reach that. So it's probably easier to do the 4,000 hours than it is to do the 10 million shorts views. You can open up sort of subscriptions and stuff a little bit earlier. I think you need to reach 3,000 watch hours on YouTube for that, but you still need the 1,000 subscribers. Or it might be 500 subscribers. I'm not 100% sure, but that's not getting paid for views. That is opening up your platform for people to subscribe and pay you a fee in order to access some specific content. So those are the three main ways that you can earn money through your social media platforms. Now, obviously, in order to do that, you do need to have content to share. So you need to create content that's going to be engaging for your viewer, and in an ideal world, you'd be reaching your target market for your business, although that doesn't have to be the case. You do have to create content that is engaging, and by engaging, that needs to be delivering some sort of value for the viewer. That could be through entertainment, it could be comedy, it could be educational. Those tend to be the main ones that will retain a viewership or attract their attention. And you will need to obviously get them interested quite early on as well. So you've got about 3 seconds to get people's attention and generate their interest, and they'll decide within that time period whether or not they're going to continue to watch that video. So that's really important, is making sure that the start of your video, you're getting straight into it. You're talking about whatever it is that's going to be the topic of your video, and you've got that hook on visual, audio, whether you put in text on the screen, all sorts of ways of doing that. So it needs to be engaging content. So you've got to get to that followers by creating that content that's, engaging enough. Now, how much are you going to earn from monetizing your platform? So say all goes well and you monetize all of your platforms, what are you going to be earning? And is that going to be a life-changing amount of money? And in all honesty, the long and short of it is no, it's not going to be a life-changing amount of money unless you're going incredibly viral all of the time. From views alone, you are not going to generate enough income to give up work entirely or, retire from your business or anything like that. Utilize the monetization on social media as a tool to either, have a little bit of extra income, so developing those sources of income as a bit of a buffer, or it might be that you're utilizing it to keep costs down for your customer. But generally speaking, the amount that you earn obviously is going to be dependent on your views, but it's not going to be a substantial amount of money that is going to take over your business unless you become a mega influencer. So realistically, to give you an idea, TikTok, if in order for a view to qualify for payment, so even once you've reached monetization, your videos have got to be eligible. So you've got to follow all of the community guidelines. It has to be over a minute long. It has to have over 1,000 views in order for it to be eligible for payment, and only then will you start to get paid for those views. How much you get paid is going to vary massively from content creator to content creator. So for some, they might have an RPM of £1 or so, which means that they would get paid £1 for every 1,000 views. That is quite unusual. So most content creators are not getting anywhere near that. Others will be more typical on the range of sort of 20 pence to 40 pence per 1,000 views, and that's on TikTok. Facebook is substantially less than that. So if you can imagine getting, 1 million views, for every 1 million views, you're not going to be getting, a huge amount of money. I would do the maths off the top of my head, but that's just not working for me right now. But you might get £400 or so for 1 million views on TikTok. Facebook, you're probably looking at less than half of that. Even less again, actually. So thinking about it, I think, you're very much, you might get a penny per 1,000 views or a couple of pence per 1,000 views for Facebook. So it's a lot lower on Facebook, I find personally anyway. For others, it might be slightly different. YouTube then, how much you're going to make on YouTube. The RPM on shorts is really low. So again, for something with, 1 million views, you might get £100 if you're lucky. It's not a huge amount of money, and obviously getting 1 million views is not going to be easy either. Long form video, however, is where the money is in YouTube. So if you're creating longer form content that is over a minute long or 10 minutes long ideally, so you can have an ad roll in between the video itself, your earnings are going to be a lot more. Your RPM is going to be a lot higher. And I'm talking probably anything from, £4 per 1,000 views upwards, some, 20 plus pounds per 1,000 views. But again, that's going to ultimately depend on your niche, and it's based on ad revenue on YouTube. So what I mean by that is for every different category, advertisers will pay YouTube a certain amount for running ads before, during and after your video, and there are certain industries and niches that will pay more in ad revenue, and as a creator you will get a cut of that ad revenue. So for things like finance, for example, the RPM that you're going to get as a finance creator is going to be substantially more than the RPM that you might get for someone who's doing gaming, for example. So it's really important to understand that your RPM is not going to be exceptionally high in certain industries, and ultimately, again, getting those views on that longer form content, not easy either. We actually got monetized on YouTube just before Christmas, so a couple of months before Christmas. I think it was October time. We're now in January, and in 3 months of monetization on YouTube, we've made about £300, so it works out about £100 per month. So yeah, it's lovely to have a little bit of extra income coming in from our social media, but it isn't actually gonna, take over the business. It's not gonna be something that is our full-time income ever, other than the fact that we rely on our business in order to create content. But just in terms of how much we could make from it, we would need to be creating a ridiculous amount of views in order to make it a full-time or a sole form of income. So, we're generally, we are thankful and very, very lucky to be monetized across 3 platforms. But the money that we earn from each platform isn't a huge amount. So, some months it might be that I think from TikTok in December, we earned £1.18. So it's really not going to be, a huge amount of money. But we've had some months which have been a lot better if we've had a video that's gone up and reached, millions and millions of views. But it's not something that is life-changing, and it's not something that is going to be consistent either. So work towards monetizing your social media platform by all means, but the first thing I would do is work on creating good content that's going to drive business to your small business. So ultimately, don't create to be a content creator, create to attract customers, because that's where you're generally going to earn your income from. Your income is going to come from your customers buying from you, and then what you earn from your social media channel is just going to become a little bit of extra pocket money to help you along the way and pay those bills, because running a business in 2025 is bloody expensive. So anything that we can do to help bring those costs down a little bit and pass that on to our customers is going to be really, really valuable, and enjoy the process as well. So for us, we enjoy creating the behind the scenes content. We love doing a little bit of teaching content, and we would love to do more long form content as well as time goes by, and if time allows us to, because we are ultimately prioritizing running our business. That's the most important thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video today. If you've got any questions about monetizing on social media platforms, then please do let me know. I will try and answer them, but I am not an expert on this, but I will give you my own personal experience, and hopefully we can cover some more sort of similar topics, or if there's anything in particular you want to know, drop a question in the comments and we can answer those for you as well. I'll speak to you next time. Bye bye.